Welcome to this edition of Journey to Self. My name is Nicole Chenault. I'm going to be talking about how to become successful in the areas of your life in which you are a failure. Okay, I am timely challenged. In my culture, that means it's called CP time, which means that I'm late to a lot of stuff. So that's one of the areas I'm going to be talking about today. I am not very organized when it comes to certain areas. I'm usually like really organized or not organized at all. So right now I'm trapped in a sea of not being organized. I also eat in order to deal with my stress, problems, boredom, sports, to use it eating as a sport. Whatever my problems are to be happy, I eat, and that's a problem as well. So this week I said to God, listen, I need help. I don't want to have these problems anymore. How do I fix them? Okay. So this week my husband went away and I was charged with taking the children to school, which he generally does in the morning, and trying to get them there on time, which requires that I go to sleep on time the night before. Also requires that I get clothes ready the night before, make sure that breakfast is probably made the night before, and get myself organized the night before, which I do none. Okay, nothing. So that is my process. So the next morning, the morning I wake up, and pretty much we're late. We're just late for school. And at some point, I begin to eat this week. I'm eating cookies. I'm eating milkshakes. I'm at Chick-fil-A, having the best milkshakes in the world, chocolate chip cookies, and going to Wendy's, which they have a new chocolate chip cookie that is, if it's nice and warm, it tastes delicious. If it's not warm, it's just like but it tastes good. For only 99 cents. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Anyway, I digress. My point is that I have a problem and I got to fix these areas, and I want to be successful in these areas of my life. So I said, God, Lord, help me out here. I don't know how to fix these areas. I'm not understanding what I'm supposed to do. I know that I'm supposed to hand over things to you. So how do I do it? Okay. So I'm thinking that God's going to be like, oh, sure. You're just going to get a burst of energy. All of a sudden, you're going to be like really organized, and, you're going to get this stuff straight. That's not what happened. It just got worse. I started eating more. I was even later. Um, and I was even more unorganized than usual. And I started almost have a breakdown and wonder, should I be a parent? Should I even be giving these children? I mean, God gave me these kids. Am I going to be able to take care of them the right way and it needs to be done? Because I'm not really, I don't really feel like I'm really the best single parent. I don't think that's really good. I'm not good at this. Anyway, so God did not make it better. He made it worse, which obviously is a good idea. Because God knows what He's doing. He rips things down, rips them apart, so He can build them back up. So I begin to figure out how to fix this problem, but I become depressed and sad and feel unworthy. And then, of course, I talk to other people, and then I figure out some solutions. So I talked to my mentor, and she helped me with a number of things. And I talked to my best friend, and I also have an accountability coach. I've got a team of people who love me. I've even got a friend who I just met who is texting me about, did you exercise? I got another friend who is texting me, are you on your schedule? These people love me for me. Why? I still don't understand, but they do. And they accept me for who I am with my flaws and all. Now, there's a reason I say that. So I'm talking to my best friend, and she's like, you know, I'm complaining to her about, feeling stressed and, not know how to handle these kids and, all that stuff. And she says to me, you don't accept you for you. You accept everybody else for who they are. Not only do you accept everybody else for who they are, but you force them or make them love themselves, excuse me, for who they are. But you don't accept you for who you are. Ugh, what? That's kind of, ooh, you just dug real deep into, my, you just dug into my gut right there. She was right. I genuinely feel that everybody has greatness in them and that we should accept ourselves for who we are. But when it comes to me accepting me for who I am, I'm not willing to do it. I remember when I was 6 years old, the first time I remember seeing um, pig feet, and my dad had pig feet in a pot, and I thought, oh, this looks so disgusting. But I remember it was a really sweet moment because we sat in the kitchen and we talked about pig feet, and he sat there and ate them, and his teeth weren't all, and he was kind of slobbering, and the pig feet were he was kind of sucking on it, and he had a few teeth in the front, but as he was sucking on it, like it was just real nasty, and he was eating a foot, and I was like, oh, this is so disgusting, and but I just remember being really happy, and my parents used to argue all the time, so this is the moment when I realized that food can make you happy, even though I chose not to eat the pig feet. He's black from the south, so that's a black thing, a southern thing, and I was not into that. I just wasn't going to do it anyway. So that's my memory of when I began to use food as my happiness meter. Fast forwarding to 50 years or 80 years later, I'm not that old, but I'm just not going to tell you yet how old I am. Um, I realize I'm still using it as a crutch, still using it as a way to deal with my emotions and my feelings, and I had to tap into that. Um, when my friend said to me that you're not accepting you for you, you're not accepting you for the flaws that you have, you're not loving yourself for who you are, I just realized how much I really didn't accept me. People didn't really accept me when I was younger. They thought I was acted too white. They thought I acted too black. No, I never acted too black. Um, Basically, I was never accepted for who I was. If I was good or did the right things, then I felt I was accepted. But if I didn't, I didn't feel like I was accepted as a person. So a part of me at 6 years old, 13 years old, and 20 years old, now 40 years old, still does not know what accepting me looks like. When I talk to my friend on the phone, she loves me for me. My husband often says he loves me, and I still ask him why. I don't understand why. And I just didn't see how anybody could love me for me, as flawed, as screwed up as I am. And as a result, I didn't love myself. I haven't loved myself. I've only loved the parts of me that were good. I've only loved the parts of me that looked perfect, or that looked not perfect, but just that looked, decent. But I didn't love the parts of me that were flawed. I didn't love the parts of me that had problems. I didn't love the parts of me that were late to things, and I didn't love the part of me that's overweight. But and I didn't love the part of me that's cluttered and has a disorganized house. But the truth is that those things saved my life. If it wasn't for the food, I'd probably be dead now, because the food gave me the comfort I needed when I didn't have anybody else to love me. The food was my friend when no one else was there listening to my parents argue, and it was just me and them and my baby sister. The food was always there, morning, noon, and night, no matter what. Always there. I mean, just loving me and giving me comfort and making me feel good. Although, yes, it was giving me unhealthy feedback and unhealthy, weight, which I didn't need. It was there for me in a way that no one else has ever been there except for God. The disorganization has given me control that I wanted when I was younger. And my mom told me that you're late and you should be like Michi and be on time. And I'm like, screw Michi. Like, yeah, she's my best friend, but screw her. I don't have to be like her. And, basically something in me clicked and said, you don't have to be on time. You can do whatever the hell you want. And as a result, I just started to not be on time for things. And I haven't loved that part of me who just needed to maintain her own control of her life. This organization, I still don't understand what you're here for, but I guess there's a reason and I'll figure it out soon enough. So this week, I have to accept all of my flaws. Not just my great parts, my great qualities, but accept that my flaws are okay. And one of the things that means is that if I accept that I'm going to be late, not that I am going to be try to be on time. Like, here's the thing. This is the plan I put in my mind on a regular basis. I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm going to, or 6 a.m. because I know that 5 a.m. is a lie. So 6 a.m. I'll wake up at 6 a.m. or at least 6:30, and then by 7 o'clock I'll be dressed. The kids will be ready by 7, and then they can get out the house and do whatever they gotta do. Um, that's just a lie. It's not going to happen. I'm going to like get up by 7 and be trying to rush out the door by like 7, by 8 o'clock, which is too late. So the truth is that if I know that I'm going to be late, then I can just start to prepare ahead of time. Start to prepare the clothes. Start to get people dressed and bathed the night before. Make sure that certain things are done. Like all the food is already prepared. It needs to be eaten the next day. All those things need to be prepared because if I accept that I'm going to be late, if I accept that, then there's no fight anymore. There's no fight that I'm going to be on time. No, you're going to be late. So if you're going to be late, then make preparations for that, which means I might actually be on time. Accepting that I'm going to overeat. I don't know how to accept that one yet. I'm working on it. But you know what? I appreciate you because overeating has saved my life. I sat there when I was 18 years old in an apartment that my boyfriend and I lived in, who's now my husband. And I counted out the pills as I decided that I was going to kill myself. And I said, I'm done with this pain. I'm figuring that I'm just going to die. It'll be easier for me to deal with this pain. But something said, you can't do this. My boyfriend was going to come home and find me dead, which is not fair to him. That's not right. My sisters were going to have to tell people, oh, I had a sister, but she killed herself. That's not fair to them. I just couldn't do it. If it was up to me, I'd have been dead a long time ago. But it's up to them. They love me. Like, I know other people love me, but I know my sisters love me. And I couldn't do that to them. I just couldn't break their heart. I just couldn't do it. I really wanted to be gone and done with the pain, but I couldn't put them through that. But I could eat. I could eat, and that would make me feel better. I could eat, and oh God, I can escape from the frustration of dealing with the alcoholic father who neglected me and my emotionally unavailable mother who loved me but didn't know how to hug me. Just wanted a hug. I just wanted a kiss. I wanted to hear I love you. And I wanted my dad to accept me and talk to me and spend time with me, and wanted my grandmother to just spend time with me and talk to me and listen to me and love me for me. And I wanted my cousins to accept me for me and not say that I was acting like a white girl and trying to tear me down for being who I was. I wanted to be loved for me. But instead, I decided to eat. And that became my friend. So thank you, overeating, because you saved my life. You saved my life. I might not have liked you and I've hated you for so many years, but you saved my life. Because if it wasn't for you, I'd be dead now. And I wouldn't have 4 beautiful children. And I wouldn't have reconciled with my dad. And I wouldn't have a wonderful relationship with my mother, which, yes, we need work, but we love each other so much. And I wouldn't be so in love with my grandmother because she loves me no matter what. And I wouldn't have a wonderful husband who, although we used to fight all the time, argue, oh, we are finding our way to love each other so much. I'm learning to love, and now I'm learning to love me, flaws and all. So, this journey to self is I have to learn to love my flaws. I have to learn to love overeating. I have to learn to love time management or lack of time management and disorder and clutter. Oh, I hate you the most. But I'll I don't know what you're doing for me. You're doing something for me. You're making me lazy. You're making me comfortable. It's easy to be just disorganized. Oh, I get it. Bing bing. When I was younger, my room was the one place that I had control over. And so when I came, I tried to keep my room neat, but then my sisters would come in there and make it messy. So at some point, I was disorganized, and it made me feel good to be disorganized because it was the one place that I could control something. Um, so I would go between being really, really organized because they hated that. My one sister used to hate that I had all my dolls lined up nice and neat, and she would try to find ways to steal them or make them, problems with it. But then I was really disorganized other times, so I would go back and forth between like really extremes. But I guess the disorder gave me control over myself and my life, and I guess now it gives me the control over saying fuck you, life. I don't have to be organized. I don't have to be the goody two shoes. I don't have to be all these things that you want me to be. I can be whoever I want to be. Sorry, Christian people, but I curse. I love it, but I don't. Well, I love cursing. So, anyway, I'm going to have to learn to love me, and I hope that you can learn to love you for your flaws and all. Do the work. I'm trying to do the work so that I'm not trying. I'm doing the work so that I can be a better person on the other side. And I hope that you're sharing your journey with me on how to become a better person, and how to love yourself, and how to accept the bad parts about you that you don't like. Find the root of the problem. Find somebody to help you to pull the root out because it all stems back from our childhood. But we got to figure out how to heal it, and how to love ourselves through it. So hopefully I'll come back to you guys and tell you how I have learned to love myself. I'm sure I will with my flaws. Learn to love my flaws and everything. And I hope that you share with me how you're learning to love your flaws as well. So, thank you for joining me today on our journey to self. And I will see you later. Live your legacy. Bye.